Have we started?
We're live.
Oh!
It took a while, actually. I don't know why. Okay,
Okay, hello. Welcome
we.
to the Fish and the Sword.
I don't
We
know.
skipped
I
last
didn't
week.
know
We,
that
we
was
skipped
an
last week because Jim was sick.
To be fair, I'm not well yet. But
Oh, I guess we're skipping this week too.
yeah, yeah. But okay, so I didn't know we were. I didn't know that was our official name.
Hey, that's the name of our YouTube channel.
Okay, okay, fine. All right, so we're starting off with some nice, very pretty art on screen
Hmm.
to give everyone a
Oh,
good
beautiful.
a good feel of what we're about to talk about, which
That's
is
just the two games.
yeah, well, well, the two games that we're going to talk about to do with their respective quest design. Now, for my even though I have a diverse pool of games, I'm going to go back to talking about Dark Souls because because of how because of the how different they did their quest design.
Yeah, it is a very unique quest system,
And we're
which you
going
can
to
barely say is a quest system, but
oh yeah
yes, we're going with it.
it's yeah,
And the other game will be the Elder Scrolls. They all did their quests in a pretty conventional way.
mm-hmm. It's what we can
And
consider
we'll be comparing,
conventional just because
yeah,
of how
we'll be comparing and how they pulled it off
yeah
for their respective games.
yeah
So we want to start with Dark Souls.
yeah okay, so starting off with some good old Souls, uh we said before that the quest system is barely a quest system because in this game you got no menu to keep track of your quests, and you
Mm-hmm.
have no idea when you do grab a quest, or you have no quest markers. You lack a basic map for the game, and that goes against most of what a quest is, where
Like
you
99% of games.
yeah, you're given a quest, and it's like jotted down in your quest menu. You follow a quest marker and head to where it leads you. But in Dark Souls,
Yeah, so let's just explain what the Dark Souls quest is.
yeah. So in Dark Souls, you um you start off as well. This is mostly Dark Souls 3, but to do you start off as a character, an undead character who fights his way to in Dark Souls 3, you fight your way to Firelink Shrine, where you got a bunch of characters. You got a bunch of characters to keep you company. But
It's it's the hunt.
throughout most of the game, you are alone, and you just you mostly kill undead and move on with the game. So
Yeah,
how the
everyone is your
quests,
enemy in Dark Souls.
most yeah,
Most people.
most people, most people are your enemies. So the quest system is the contrast between you being lonely and having an actual person to talk to.
hmm
Like in the midst of your journey, you'll find yourself uh almost dying to a big enemy, and then you run into someone who can speak English and doesn't attack you. And these are very rare characters, like the
Yeah, there's
sane.
only like 5 in the game, something like that.
In this big game that I've spent over 200 hours on, there are only 5 side quests, or something like that. So, yes, you.
So these side quests consist of you finding the character in one place and maybe talking to them for a minute,
Mhm.
at which point they disappear
Yeah.
and move to the next area.
Well, generally, you just finish talking to them and then they stay there until you leave.
They stay there until you move. And
Yeah.
then you find them in the next area and you talk to them for 2 minutes. And somehow, just talking to them multiple times across different areas is really effective and really gets you to love the characters.
Mhm.
I make the example Sigurd of Katarina, who's he's a knight who helps you fight a demon rather early on in the game,
Uh-huh.
and later on you find him again stuck in a well, and he was robbed.
He
He was
was
robbed of his armor.
straight up shanked and took all his onion armor off and thrown into a well.
And you basically all you do is you get his armor back and throw it down to the well. He thanks you, and it goes on.
I'm not entirely
And-
sure how the armor helps him though. That's just my thing.
It's confidence. Anyways,
Okay.
So, by normal RPG standards, that's not a quest. You just spoke to the guy twice. You probably had, 2 minutes of dialogue in total there.
Yep.
But for anyone who's played Dark Souls 3, you already love Sigurd of Katarina.
No one hates him. Everyone loves Sigurd.
You already love him after talking to him for 2 minutes in 2 different areas.
Hmm.
And why does this work, Jim? Why can Dark Souls pull this off?
Okay. Well, Dark Souls offers this unique experience because like the characters of say Sigurd in particular are like really contrast the atmosphere that
Mhm.
that Dark Souls had originally presented, where you alone have to seek your own journey to kindle the flame or anything else if you wanna to be honest. But
And it's in a world that's really oppressive.
yeah,
Everything's out to kill you.
you have no friends mostly. Yeah, well, you basically take on this journey alone. So why it works? Why it works is that you find Sigurd as an example. Sigurd is very much contrasts the atmosphere where everything's out to kill you. This man is friendly. He's
He's really
he's
cheerful.
quite cheerful. He seeks and he helps you. He helps you fight off this big demon who was out to kill you, and it's like you've made a friend just because
Yeah.
you made a friend just because he is similar to you in this world, and there's an immediate connection between these two, as
Yes.
if they two were they are a character in this world. It's just not like they were plunked into it. They
Yeah,
have a
so
place, you know.
to sum up, it's because the world around you is it's horrible. When you meet someone who's a friend, it really means a lot.
Hmm.
And that's why Dark Souls can pull a dialogue for 2 minutes, and you'll like the character a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it's really unique to this game, and it's really masterful of From Software to have done this, because you can tell they understand exactly what atmosphere they're delivering,
Right.
and they're really confident in it as well to go with a really unconventional quest system.
Oh yeah. Super confident. We were talking about that. Hold on. Let me just I'm just editing the scene to make it look a little better, but so yeah, we were talking about how the quests, if you look at the bigger picture, nothing much really happens in the sense that your role in that quest is not paramount, except
Yeah,
you help them on their journey if you find them, right? If you
Yep,
find
if you find them.
them. So yeah, so you play the role, you help them out just because they've been put in this unfortunate situation, like Sigurd in the well.
Hmm.
Like we feel bad for him. He's like in that well without his armor. Like what the hell? Who did this? And you find who did this is a real asshole. So like I think from
we
software.
don't need to talk about patches.
Yeah, okay, well, Patches did it, and by this, like a small minor detail, what this does, what is make you support Sigurd even more, because he's been bullied. What has happened is just he's been bullied, and the early connection you made with him, like how he helped you, it's like scratching his back.
Mm.
You're not forced to help him, but you're gonna wanna. You're probably going to wanna, depending
Yeah, and the
on.
thing is, you can progress through this game without doing any of the character side quests,
Mm,
and it'll just be fine. You just miss out,
yeah, just
and that's a thing. You can miss out on a lot of content.
yeah. It's
But
entirely
why would
possible for you
yeah? But why
to.
would From Software take the risk?
Oh yeah. We wanted to. Well, we were gonna talk about how the how how easy it is to miss a quest, and why like the player can go on through the game like Andrew almost did actually in Dark Souls,
Yes.
almost before we told him.
In
Um,
Dark Souls 1, I did not do any character side
oh yeah, you
quests.
you missed everything, Chris.
I only did Rio of Thornland, and that was really good.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, at least you got one. But
Yeah.
the Onion Knight in Dark Souls 1, Siegmeyer. Um, oh man, he was great too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something to do with the trope of an Onion Knight being all great and friendly. So okay, so moving on. We were taught why From decides to take the big risk of letting the player miss a side quest so easily, and it's to do with the atmosphere and the aesthetic of how exploration is presented in
Hmm.
this game, and that how um they want to what I said was they want to promote the playstyle, the the playstyle that would give you a richer experience, like
Yeah.
which
So
is
they
to
had
look
in
around.
mind how they wanted the player to play the game,
Hmm.
and that is to explore everything, to kill everything, and be like generally like you've mastered the area. You can kill all the mobs in the area, so you can explore the whole place.
Hmm. So like yeah,
So
I'll make a
by
really quick comparison
okay,
that
yeah.
um you know how really quick and in For Honor
Hmm.
there's like a you got collectibles, but
Yes.
they're hidden, and they it's a they slow down the gameplay, and
Yes.
you're forced to stop um doing what you're doing to go out of your way to look for these
Yeah.
collectibles.
So I'll just explain. For Honor did um, a discovery sort of thing really poorly. In
Mm,
that, within their levels, they would have 10 observable objects,
or something like that.
and you would have to find them in the midst of a level where you're almost constantly fighting. And you'd observe it, and then someone would narrate over it, telling you the backstory of the thing.
Correct.
Now, the thing is, because For Honor is that type of game, like you're always fighting someone. Often you don't have time to hear and listen. You don't want to stop and just
Uh-huh.
listen to the person narrating. And the fact that they're in out of place, like the things are like out of your path. you have to actually search for the observables.
Uh
Means the level flow is a mess.
huh.
You often find maybe 2 observables in the level if you just go by the quest marker and you don't actually search for it, which
Yeah.
was really poorly done. And it wasn't fun to find the observables either.
Oh yeah. The
It wasn't
rewards
that
of being
satisfying.
told what it was and everything was it's just overall
Yeah.
not that interesting, unfortunately.
Mm.
It made it even worse that my game was in fucking Chinese, but that's another point. Let's
That's another matter.
okay.
So
Yeah.
you can say they did similar things, Dark Souls and For Honor, but in For Honor it disrupted the level.
Mhm.
Whereas
Yeah.
in Dark Souls it was part of the level.
Yeah. It added to it. Hell,
Mm.
like in Dark Souls, you well personally, I never really knew which way is the main way, right?
Hmm.
Like you don't know if there's a branching path in For Honor. I think you would always know which is the way they want you to go. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
because you have the marker.
Yeah.
You have the marker.
Yeah. And in Dark Souls, you have no marker, so you got two branching paths of the same size, and you can't
Mm.
just choose one because both look equally enticing, to say the least.
Yeah, yeah.
You got your yeah. You wanna see both. Or at least the game makes you wanna see
I think we
both.
should go back to quests because
Yeah.
we
Okay.
have
Okay.
sidetracked.
Sorry. So quests. So yeah. So yeah. It adds to
So
the
Dark Souls.
exploration factor.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
they
because
want you.
they've done this really cleverly where the first time you meet a character, you get invested,
Mm,
and for returning players in Dark Souls 3, they know since they already understand how the quests work, they would explore the whole area and try and find the character again.
uh-huh.
And well, because they want to, they in this atmosphere they've made a friend. They don't want
Yeah.
to lose that friend.
They don't want to lose one of their only
You get
friends.
quite sad when you lose that friend.
Oh
And so,
man.
yeah,
Oh
because they
man.
want this, they explore the area, which um, it enriches their experience, and it
Um,
also, well, yeah, it enriches their experience.
yeah, that gives you
They
more.
they've seen everything, they haven't missed anything,
Yeah, it's
and
very
just in general, they'll
rewarding.
enjoy it more. Hmm.
It's very rewarding. Like not as a well technically well Sigurd gives you stuff for finding him again.
Yeah.
But like if he didn't give you stuff, it would be fine. It's the
It
thing.
will still be fun, yeah. You're not there for any items or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for the Titanite slab, but I wanted you to get out of here. I wanted I wanted you to move on and stay alive, kind of thing.
Hmm.
But you
So
mentioned losing the friend and how
mhm.
that itself was like an incentive. How you don't want to lose them.
Yeah, it's crushing when you lose an NPC. It's like when you're playing an RPG and you choose the wrong option or you didn't realize and the character
Ooh.
dies or something.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's like that.
It's like Walking Dead or something. Clementine will remember
Hmm.
this. Oh shit! What did I do? Yeah. So like I wanna elaborate really quick on that because in the first Dark Souls, you know Sigmar,
Hmm.
you didn't take a side quest, but at the end of it, near the end of it, well of course, no spoilers, but most NPC quests end with them dying or
Yes.
going hollow,
Yeah.
as is to emphasize the atmosphere of the world
Yeah.
and the kind of
Like
world
you're
they're
trying
in.
to make your friend, but in the end, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
works out.
you had your time to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's their time to move on. But okay,
Mm.
so moving on. Sigmar, you there's a section. There's a section where you you talk to him, and he goes like, what will we do in this situation? And then he looks down. There's like a lot of enemies down
Mm.
off a ledge. And then because this is quite late into the quest line, into Sigmar's
Hmm.
quest line, so he's considered you a good friend by this point.
Yep.
So he goes like, "Wow, there's a lot of enemies there. So how do you think we're gonna pass?" And then you know what he says? He goes like, "Okay, I'll distract them. You run." And then he jumps down the ledge. He jumps down into a poison swamp, like a poison area.
No.
Fights the enemies. Like he doesn't give you any time to breathe. He goes like, "I'll distract him. You run." And he goes, "Yeah." And then
Oh, man.
you're left to go, and you're like, "Well." So there, you have to think, do you value him enough? And you probably do, to help him.
Yeah.
But,
Oh man.
here's the twist. He can die.
Yeah.
And God, does that suck. You come down, you help him, and if he's like lower than half health or something, he'll die to the poison.
Oh.
Oh man.
No. That's a sad quest.
Oh man. Oh man, the
Yeah.
first time that happened to me, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's devastating, and it's permanent as well. Which
Mm.
is, it's something.
Ah,
There's
perfect.
no saving and loading. Ooh.
Oh man. Oh man. By that time you've
Yeah.
become so invested in the character, you want them to succeed. Because they have their own agendas, and it's like it's yeah, then it just makes you it makes you invest in their quest just because you like them, basically. You like them.
Alright, so I think we have a decent understanding of Dark Souls quest by now.
Mhm.
We can. I want to compare it with the Elder Scrolls.
Elder
What you
Scrolls.
might see as a conventional quest RPG, like
Yeah.
they pulled off quests really differently, or I'd rather say Dark Souls pulled off quests really differently to Elder Scrolls.
Uh huh. That's more accurate.
Mm, and in the Elder Scrolls, it's typical. You find an NPC, and that NPC has a quest for you, and you do that quest. You know, the quest marker will lead you to some dungeon. You do that quest for him. And you come back and get a reward.
Yeah.
And so this works in Skyrim because it's less about the atmosphere and like making friends
Yeah.
and more about the reward and experience.
Oh yeah. It's if the focus where the atmosphere is not on the characters usually.
Of course, there is still a story to it,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's very different how they pulled it off, and I'm a bit lost for words right now.
Hmm. So
Um,
what we're trying to say is that I think how the quest system works is that, well, first of all, they actually have a map. They have a quest
yeah, they
menu.
have a map and quest markers.
They have a map. They have a quest marker. They have a quest menu. They and so so the player pretty much can never lose track of a quest.
Mm. And they didn't want players to lose track of a quest because it would simply be content that wasn't experienced, that was developed.
Yeah.
So it's like effectively a waste of money.
Well, yeah. That's the difference between From Software and Bethesda.
Mm.
Right. So yeah, they want you by giving you the quest and telling you where to go there and to do it. It's quite simple.
And that serves a different purpose. So in Dark Souls, it forces you to explore everything in that sort of confined area. It's relatively big, but it's not big enough for you to not be able to explore everything.
Oh yeah, I wanna talk a bit about that just really quick. Dark Souls, it feels big, but really not really.
Yeah, it's not that big. So
yeah.
yeah, in Skyrim, it's pretty much it's a chore to explore every single corner.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's
it gets
No.
it gets too much because of how much effort. Well, yeah, there's too much to look for.
And that's why the quest marker really works in a game that's open world like Skyrim. Oh, and so that quest marker, it takes you to places that usually you wouldn't go to if you hadn't had a quest marker or a quest. And
Mm,
their quests are designed really cleverly to get players to go to places that are, important.
mhm,
The design of Bleak Falls Barrow, one of the first quests,
mhm,
one of the really early quests, um, it's really clever because for a new player, someone who's not experienced with RPGs or games, you wouldn't think they would go into a dungeon full of undead. That's crazy, right? But what they did is they designed two quests to get you in there. First, the one at Riverwood Trader, where a thief stole the Golden Claw,
Yeah.
and the next one where you had to get the Dragonstone for the Jarl in Whiterun.
And it's a main quest
Both
too.
these places, yeah, it's a main quest, and both of these places you can't really ignore.
Right.
And so they give you two quests to go into a scary place for the first time. So
Mhm.
you can see how they use this quest to guide the player to, go to a place they're not comfortable with.
Mm. And you could say like
And
this design with the quest marker and giving you incentive to go in, kind of has like kind of is a win-win for different types of players.
Mm.
In the sense that if it's a new player and they're not too excited to go in, they're given an incentive to go in. Or whereas another
Yeah.
player who's already excited to go in gets more incentive to go in.
Yeah, and basically the new player would get better at the game. They would
Mm.
grow as a person. They'd be braver to go into dungeons in the future. And that's really important because Skyrim has a lot of dungeons.
Oh yeah.
A lot. And if the player isn't accustomed to going in there, they're going to miss out on content.
I probably haven't done all the dungeons personally.
Who has?
Right.
It's good. And that leads on to our next point. Skyrim has, 1,000 quests. And Dark Souls has 5 lines of dialogue.
Skyrim leads you to places all around the world, and you got, and it's like quest to quest to quest to quest back to back. whereas, whereas Dark Souls, you have 5 if you get them all. But again,
So, what were the different companies aiming for? Really?
so like you're probably most people play games where quests are plentiful. Like we're talking about Skyrim. We got lots of quests.
Which,
Yeah, and like the same as MMOs. You got your MMOs who give you
yeah.
lots of quests.
Too many.
Yeah, you'll be bombarded with quests. But that's what they need to do. So, as we've said before, it takes you to places you've probably never been, and you might never go to if had it not been for the quest. Because the world is so big, right?
Mhm.
The world is quite literally whereas in Dark Souls it looks big, but not really that big. But Skyrim's world is huge, actually, gigantic,
It's massive.
gigantic.
So the purpose of the quest is to take you through and experience all these different places that they've made for you.
Yeah, and yeah, like in the sense that, well, Skyrim, I think Skyrim has more at stake if they like made a risk like Dark Souls did.
Because someone might miss out entirely on a whole town.
And I don't want that. That's a lot of work. Like, yeah, they don't want you to miss this part of the world that they made specifically for you?
Yeah,
Just
and I suppose
because.
it works
Uh-huh.
um, with the volume of quests they have.
Yeah.
It really functions well with the quest marker and the big world.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To mention, yeah,
Whereas with
because you can't
Souls, they
keep
have a few. They
track.
have a few quests
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are important, and they want to avoid the quest marker to keep the player independent
true.
and thinking for themselves.
Yeah, whereas Skyrim, they can't actually do that, can they? Because if they pick up
Mhm.
too many quests, how will they how will they find
Well,
them?
it's difficult. They pulled it off in Morrowind, but it's difficult.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And there's a
more.
reason a lot of people can't get into Morrowind these days.
Mhm.
And it wasn't. People say it was the best Elder Scrolls. The people who got into it, and that's fine. But I can understand why people can't get into it.
Mhm.
It's just difficult.
It's difficult. You don't. It's not
Morrowind
what.
did not have a quest marker,
Mhm.
and basically you had to listen to the directions of the NPCs to
Yeah.
get to certain places.
Your marker is by word of mouth.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. I can't imagine myself. It's just cause of the type of game I reckon in it. Cause
Mhm.
in a world that's so fucking huge, I don't feel there's a downside to a quest marker.
Definitely not. And Skyrim does give you the choice to turn it off,
True.
although you might have a tough time.
Well, mostly it's to turn it off just to get it off when you're not focusing on it.
Mm.
That's usually what I do
Oh,
anyway.
all for like the hardcore players.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
I don't know.
Different strokes for different folks.
I don't do that. I don't. I haven't. Wait. Okay. No, I haven't met anyone who does that.
Maybe Morrowind variants.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. You have the choice, which is nice. So. Oh yeah. Fast travel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You got your gigantic world, so like once you've been there, you can go there easily through the map.
Yeah. You don't want the player running around everywhere
Yeah. It gets tiring.
because it's big.
Oh yeah. Really. Something small to talk about, but Dark Souls fast travel in the third game.
Mhm.
Like, I want to ask as an actual question, what you know how in the first game the fast travel
Yeah.
was given to you only like about halfway through.
Halfway into the game, yeah.
Yeah, but in the third game you get it off the bat.
Hmm. I felt that okay, so the fast travel in Dark Souls no, lack of fast travel in Dark Souls 1 served a purpose.
Uh-huh.
So everything was interconnected in one.
Oh yeah.
You'd it made sense. You'd ring the bells of awakening after killing gargoyles, and then you'd ring the one in after killing Quelaag, and then you'd see Sen's Fortress open, and you'd know where Sen's Fortress was because you were already at Undead Parish, and Sen's
Right.
Fortress was right in front of you.
Hmm.
And just learning your way, navigating through all that, it was really like for me. I think I felt really immersive.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I thought it
like,
was really well done.
mm,
The internet connected world was really well done for like I don't know, like you know how people say Dark Souls is budgeted? Half the
I
time,
mean,
like this
I'm not
kind of thing.
surprised.
Yeah, but like they put their money in good place. That's incredible. How the entirety of like the beginning half of the game works without fast travel. Or at least
Mm,
I am super impressed in that like
yeah,
they could do that. Just you can
it
walk to them.
encourages you to explore. I think
Sure. Yeah,
because
definitely.
you see a place that you can't get to currently. Like, how do I get there?
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know that ringing the bells of awakening would open Sen's Fortress. I was pretty surprised. I was like, can't wait to go in there, and how wrong I was.
Can't wait to go in there. Get me out of here.
It serves a story purpose.
Yes.
But in Dark Souls 3, they really want you to be in different areas. Right? First you have the... I forgot what it's called. Undead Settlement. No, High Wall of Lothric.
Yes.
And then that's a completely different place to the Undead Settlement.
Yeah.
Undead Settlement is like... whatchamacallit? The village.
It's like the gutters. Pretty much.
Yeah. And then you go to the Road of Sacrifices and the Farron's Keep. And that's another completely different place.
Yeah. Super.
Like they feel sort of far away from each other. Although Road of Sacrifice, Farron's Keep, close.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, now that I mention it, Undead Settlement up to Cathedral of the Deep, it's all connected.
Undead Settlement to Cathedral.
Undead Settlement to Road of Sacrifice, to
Mhm.
Farron's Keep,
Mhm.
to Cathedral of the Deep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
That's all connected. So, but the areas that aren't connected, like Enolondo, Boreal Valley,
Mhm.
Arc
Dragon Peak.
Erythral Dungeon, Arc Dragon Peak, like that's why you need the teleportation.
Yeah. I mean, they kept it from the first game, but my question is mostly, it's mostly, why didn't they do the same thing? Like, why didn't they make fast travel unavailable until later?
Interesting. I think it's the areas. I mean, it's convenient for one. It's a nice little place.
True.
Getting back to Firelink, that's a big one.
Oh,
They wanted Firelink to be. Yes, that's true. We are so off topic right now.
Oh,
They wanted Firelink to be a home, and for you to always return back to it. So fast travel would be good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Sorry, that was just a question I wanted to ask, because I was always wondering why, because like the interconnected world in the first game worked so well.
Interesting, definitely.
It worked so well and was so well thought out that I was like, wow. But in the third game they didn't do that, and I was like, why not? No. That's yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And we're off to.
Okay.
Okay, so.
I think we're done.
We're
There's anything else to talk about?
we're not. Oh, are we done?
Do we end on a tangent? No.
We end. No. Guilds. We have guilds.
Ah, yes, guilds.
And how we get the quests. We brushed over that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is in Dark Souls 3. You get the quest finding the NPC once and then finding him again.
Oh, sorry.
You've explored the whole area.
Andrew. You cut out.
Yeah.
Talk. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, back to it.
So in Dark Souls 3,
Uh-huh.
you get the quests because you've explored the whole area and you find the NPC. And then you go to the next area, you explore the whole area there, and you find the NPC. There's also player messages, which is a whole other topic.
Okay.
But in Skyrim, you don't see the quest marker on top of the NPCs that have quests. Like an MMO, where they might have a blue arrow to show that they have a quest.
Like an exclamation
And
point.
Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls rather, did this really well. How they guide you to certain quests through NPCs might be talking, just having a conversation with each other, and you would just talk to them naturally and offer to help them with their problem, or you get in the habit of talking to every NPC, and that's a good thing. That's what Skyrim. That's what the developers wanted you to do, so you don't miss out on anything. And they have the ones with unique dialogue generally offer your quest. Or you run into NPCs in a certain situation, like at the start where the companions were fighting the giant. And you know, you see a giant and you're like, well, let's help them kill it. And then they tell you, oh, come join the companions.
Yeah, yeah. You are strong. You should come join us.
Yeah.
And that's like a prompt of its
And
own.
that's sort of your introduction to the guilds. For a new player who doesn't know about the guilds, they can join the companions.
Oh yeah.
And for experienced players, they already know about the guilds. Like, oh, okay, companions. Or rather, the Fighters Guild.
Uh huh. Oh yeah, like how the Dark Brotherhood, like forcibly drags you out of sleep to talk
yeah.
about them.
If you murder someone.
No. No, well, yes, that is basically it. And there are like always multiple
the
references
NPCs,
about
yeah.
them. There are always references to these guilds, whether you got people talking about the companions, how like they're super strong. That dude from the companions did this yesterday, or like, you got your like shady people who are like, we should summon the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah. Actually, they said a kid in Dimmerthing
Oh my god, that creeped me the
was trying
fuck
to
out.
was trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood, and that
Oh my
was a
god.
really good setup. Like, as opposed to using the MMO style, where NPCs have an arrow on top of them, they instead made it way more immersive by getting the NPCs to talk about certain events that were happening in the world, and you could go visit them. It's a quest start masked in just the NPC dialogue. They would tell you about the kid who was trying to summon Dark Brotherhood, and you'd be like, "Oh hey, let's visit the kid."
Man, that creeped me out.
And
But
you
that was
start
supposed to
a
creep me
whole
out.
questline. Yeah, and that was interesting to me
Yeah. they
and immersive.
yeah. Something Dark Souls does to to a fault is immersion, I reckon.
Yeah.
But you got that works well, and I think that's about it.
Mm.
You know,
Yay!
yeah.
Keep
So,
listening.
it's
Our
like,
second podcast.
Yahoo! We completed our second podcast. Well under an hour. We got a few like 43 minutes, but
Pretty good.
that's good. So
It wasn't meant to go for this long. That's okay.
so
It's all good.
nice. Dark Souls. You got your unconventional quest, and your Elder Scrolls, which is more conventional, which is much
And
like
they both work for their certain situations.
and they complement. They almost purely complement the atmosphere and the playstyle that they want their players to engage in.
Mhm.
So yeah, that wraps up about what we've talked about. So thank you everybody for listening.
Alright.
Next week I have no idea what we're doing, but
We
we'll
haven't decided yet.
we'll write something down. It will happen at the same time. And yes, that wraps it up. Thank you everybody for listening.
Okay.